All right. Hey, buddy. Wait, because I want you to come closer. I want you to come out here too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He doesn't want to come out, but he needs to come out because he's actually the superstar of this video, and he's got questions that wants to be answered, and he's got great questions. But sometimes, to get him down to talk about one question at a time, it's kind of difficult because he's a young dude, full of ideas, super creative, super unique.
Don't forget the ADHD.
But that's just a title that Western medicine has given him because he cannot sit still long enough to be able to kind of work with one idea at a time. So we have come up with this great idea, and is to sit down here and talk about it, doing a video. And hopefully through this video, we can touch other people that, like himself, seem to struggle, maybe? Is it a struggle?
I wouldn't even say struggle. Obstacles.
Well,
obstacles.
Okay, so that deal with this obstacle of how to come down and how to release some of the anxiety and the excitement of having these incredible ideas, but making them happen. Okay? So I'm just happy that I convinced him. Look at how cute he is.
Oh, hello.
All right. So welcome to MamaStar channel. All right, buddy. So shoot.
Well, now you've kind of started this, but historically, I've seen a pattern where I can and do manifest whatever I want, right? Like it'll be like I want a job with this days off, even if it's this much money, and I'm very specific, and I get it, and I go, oh, no, I don't want that, or I go, I really want to date this type of person, and then I get that person, I go, oh, no, I don't want her, and I've realized that's why I spent the summer meditating and attracting clarity. Right. Like now that I know what I want, now that I know what the purpose of that want is. It's like, what do I sit and manifest to help me get that end resolution or end solution? And that's where our conversation brought us to this, where you were like, you have all these ideas, bringing them down into one. I'm like, I don't do simple. I do complex, big, I don't think short film. I think a TV series like as big as Game of Thrones.
He's a producer.
Yeah, I make movies. Hello.
All right. So being creative is a very unique thing because you have the ability to have a lot of ideas. Mm-hmm. Some people suffer from having or needing to come up with one idea. You, in your case, you have many.
Too many.
Which is a wonderful thing. But the question is, can you have the equanimity to work with the rest of your operating systems to make that idea real? It's kind of like when you go to a store and you want to go and buy candy. There's so much candy, right? And your mind kind of goes crazy because you're like, look at all this candy, but I like this one, I like this one, I like that one, but I can only have so much because I don't have a lot of money to buy all of them. And besides, if I had the money to buy all of them, that's a lot of sugar. Mm-hmm. So you're a creative being, and you at some level understand that you live in a reality where you have opportunity to do whatever you want and create whatever you want. But the question is, do you have what it takes to settle down and work with one idea at a time? Can the idea that you are choosing to work with keep you interested enough for you to work in that idea and make it happen? Because it's not about ideas, you got plenty. But can that idea be interesting enough to keep you interested long enough for you to work on it? So that's one thing. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that if you're able to think about that idea without needing to work that idea until the end, and thinking that because you thought it through until the end, that's the way it needs to happen.
Yeah, being open.
Because a lot of times we have an idea And we've been accustomed to work with that idea and see all the ins and outs. Tesla had that ability. He was able to visualize something and work all the little details. And not until he was done working all these details in his head, he wouldn't start doing the job.
Same.
Okay.
But it's also a prison at times because...
That's right. Because from your perspective and your level of creativity, which is not exactly the same as Tesla, it requires you to put it into practice.
Yeah.
And if you do not have the interest or the motivation to continue to feed that idea as you're putting into practice, you give up.
Mm-hmm. Or it feels wrong.
Or it feels wrong. Or you go and talk to other people that are going to help you to make it wrong so that you stop and give up.
Self-fulfilling prophecies.
That's right. Sabotage. That's called
How do we
sabotage.
stop it? Let's just get to the solution.
Well, you have to become as committed to do practices where you're able to tame your mind. Because the consciousness behind the mind is capable of making anything happen. But if you are using a vehicle in which the vehicle is out of control, and then you need to control it first. So you got to be more committed to the practice that allow you to have control of your vehicle than actually, yes.
I hear you.
And you know this. We all know this, right?
I just need reminders.
But a lot of times, we don't make the time to do the practice because the horses are taking control of the vehicle and they just don't want to be tamed.
You gotta survive, and people, I should be spending time making money. That's why I had to get shit out of my vocabulary. We talked about that a few years ago. I got shit out of my vocabulary. I shouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I will do.
Well, and it's also the expectations. All the expectations that you put behind all of those ideas that in a way is what you use to feel good about yourself and to tell yourself, that's the reason why I didn't do it. So instead of feeling like you're not good enough or dealing with those emotions of unworthiness, what you're telling yourself is, well, no, it just wasn't right. No, that's not the expectation. No, not right. And you're hiding that part of you that feels unworthy, not good enough, or whatever. You're hiding it. Yeah. You're masquerading it with all of this, well, it wasn't the way I thought it needed to be, so, that's why I let it go. So we are a combination of so many different mechanisms, of so many different layers. And to be able to tame this wild horse that is your mind, you gotta be devoted.
Yeah, I hear you.
You gotta persevere.
And it's the balance. So we talked about the out there versus
it's the
physical.
balance, exactly. And, I am open to exploration. Like, anything can be explored, but if you do not know how to bring it into balance, and then you're not the master of your life.
Yeah. Then you just wind up swimming out there, and then you come back and
somebody else becomes the master.
Yeah.
And you become the slave. The only way that you can become the master is when you can tame your mental mind.
A message I received yesterday that's been kind of vibrating.
Yeah.
It's self-discipline is self-love.
Well, and there are self-disciplines that are very loving, and there are self-disciplines that are very boring.
Yeah, or you tell yourself,
or you tell yourself they're boring because you identify, right? We have all of these identifications that is all about it feels good or it feels bad. If it feels good, I'm on, or I'm in, and if it feels bad, don't count with me.
Or too much of a good thing is bad, though. So should I be feeling good? And then you run back and forth.
And let's face it. Genetically, we've been slave for so long and suppressed for so long that now, after this incredible awakening that we're going through, all we want is freedom. Freedom from the system, freedom from this, freedom from that. Especially for those of us that, come with the lights on. right?
Or blow the lights out.
I know. That's what happened. We were sitting here having these incredible conversations. We do this once in a while. And all of a sudden, the lights started blinking. And poof, went out. He made it happen.
I didn't know how to stop it. I'm sorry.
That's right. Because you have that ability. So the idea is, how are you going to start? How are you going to start taming the horses?
Meditation works.
Because the thing is, you have all this energy.
You do.
You have all this fucking energy. And the thing is that if you're not using it to construct something, and then you got to be giving it away. What are you giving it to? Or who?
Nothing that's worth it.
Well, it's not coming back in a way that is satisfying for you, right?
Perfectly
because
said.
If you are not giving your energy and your vital force to your own creative processes, right? Or your own creativity or your own ideas or your own projects and dreams, who are you giving it to?
Or who's taking it?
Or who's taking it? Because there's always people that are going to love to take it.
I've learned.
So how do you think we should call this video? You're the director.
Oh, this is Star Mama and Do right here.
Conversations with MamaStar?
Is it MamaStar or is it called you Star Mama?
It's funny because recently I was told that my name would change. Okay. So it's, the MamaStar was given to me as a spiritual name. I was told in a dream that I came here to share the messages of the star. Okay. And this happened to me when I was in New Mexico. But recently I was told that there was going to be a slight variation in that name, and it was going to be Morning Star because of my connection to Venus and the Divine Feminine. But I'm thinking, Morning Star, MamaStar is all the same kind of thing. But, Conversations with MamaStar.
I don't have a name.
You don't have a name?
I don't have a name, just Mamadou.
And Mamadou? The Conversations with Mamadou and Mornings in MamaStar.
MamaStar do.
MamaStar do? I love that.
I had one. I just never hold on to it.
See, I love that spark that you have in your mind, how you just take something and work with it and take it to the next level. But, you gotta
execute. You gotta,
that's
without
right.
Without the Adderall.
That's right.
Or the weed or the drugs, or you gotta find it on your own.
Well,
I want to find it on
look, it's like, I believe that, there are plant medicines that are very useful to expand our consciousness and to help us to be more creative. As long as they don't become
dependent. It's a dependency. I got a question for you then. What do you do with, we're so programmed with, materialism and, capitalism, where you watch TV and it's like everything's a commercial. I don't know if you've seen They Live, but I'll send it to you, where he puts on the glasses and he sees people for who they really are.
Just don't fucking watch TV.
No, even living in life now, like billboards, the people you speak to are now programs of the system who are here to tell you, oh my God, did you catch that sale at Macy's? And you're like, I don't give a shit. But then the question is,
okay,
what do you do once you've detached from all of it and now nothing feels? Because I think that's my fear with this whole journey I'm on, is how do you still come back to the physical realm and make something and bring that with you for the humans?
Hold on, I have to move this. There you go.
You want to go to eye level. We talked about this.
This is how I know, right?
No, not straight ahead.
Okay. He's the expert. There you go. Okay, so this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The technology that we have available right now, there's a lot of technology that the population doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
That it's very advanced technology. Even though we feel that we have quite a bit, that is pretty cool. And in that technology is used in many ways to keep us distracted. We have created a lot of ways to distract ourselves.
True.
So you don't have to be affected only by watching TV or having a cell phone. There is a lot of artificial intelligence right now where through oh my God, what do they call that in English? Algorithms.
Yes.
They can pick up what you're thinking and what you're feeling and work with your energy fields without you being conscious. So
defense system.
Yeah, so when you start moving away, I mean, the idea is, I'm not saying that it's important that we completely divorce ourselves from technology, because technology is useful, but remember that it's imitating our biological technology. So by having the genetic codes, the right genetic codes, to work with the artificial intelligence in a way that it doesn't make you a slave of it, is a good, healthy thing. But while you're not there, and not until you get to that point where you're able to master your mind, and then be able to work with all of these different frequencies that are working subconsciously or unconsciously with us, we are not fully prepared to address and to be fully engaged with society. So we have to learn how to make time to tame first our mind, our consciousness, and then find places where we are away from technology, so that we learn to see the difference between our energy when we are in nature, place of nature where there is not so much activities and distraction, and when you come back to all of it, know how much is affecting you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay? So you will not know the difference of how much you're being programmed without you being unconscious until you move away from all the craziness. And how you do that is entirely up to you. Did that answer
No,
the question?
Definitely did.
Okay.
It helped me figure out what I want to do with my summer, because we're supposed to be going back home to Guinea as a family.
Yeah, so, how you decide to do that, you have free will. But you won't know the difference until you get to experience both. Because there's so many ways right now that we are being manipulated without us knowing.
Yeah, pretty soon. I've always said there's too much misinformation. I don't know what's real and what isn't anymore, because it's just too much. They're just throwing everything
too much.
at you.
And it gets confusing. Mm-hmm. This is the time of transformation where we have so much information available to us. But if we don't know how to work with that information from inside out, we are at the mercy of it. And it's just like a chicken with, the head cut off. We're all over the place.
Scattered energy.
That's right. And when our energy is scattered, there's not enough to work with at building something.
True.
Because your energy is tied down. So you got to find your priorities and set your priorities in a way that it works for you. And at the end of the day, you feel recharged, satisfied, and ready to do it again the next day.
Thank you. I needed the reminder. I did, because every once in a while, you get lost.
It's so cute. Yeah. So that's how you start. And if maybe it's good for you to tape your voice in a device, and just like you have a clock that does, or sounds or stuff, just make a voice that says, "Hey, motherfucker, wake up, time to do practice and meditation." I don't know. There's all kinds of ways, right? There's maybe nicer ways, more loving ways.
Yeah, that's how I talk to myself.
Oh, that's how you talk to yourself? Well, it could be also in a loving way.
That's how she got me to do this. She's talking all sweet and mystical.
No!
Hey, look, motherfucker, let's just record this.
But it's all how you say things.
That's all loving.
Because you can say motherfucker and really mean it and be nasty, or you can say, "Hey, motherfucker, love yourself." Love yourself. If you don't love yourself, who the fuck is gonna love you, right? It's something like that. But no, it's
Rihanna.
Oh, yeah. Is that your dream come true?
Who knows anymore?
Maybe by the time that does, happens, you'd be like, I'm over it.
I'm not in a situation where you force expectations and outcomes. You just kind of live.
Yeah.
I feel like I should dress like this for every video.
It's a good dream to
like a Jedi.
There you go. It's a good dream to have, right? I mean, that's what dreams are made of. It's to inspire you, and it's to sometimes get you out of the norm. And it's to practice to work with your imagination. I mean, think about it. Your imagination is the operating system that allows you to work with images, create images.
But now I got to take the imagination part and make it tangible.
You have to, because that's part of why you're here. You came to live in this reality to play with matter, with particles, with atoms. Have an idea and then materialize it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten to the point where survival is on like autopilot now. Like I don't stress about, like rent, car, insurance. Like that's gonna be taken care of. I don't stress about that or worry about, the money to survive. Yeah. Now, it's about manifesting.
You're always taken care of.
Yeah, manifesting.
But you just gotta believe it. I mean, that's the thing. Not until you're really ready to rely on a belief, you shouldn't take the risk. Because
but it's not a risk if you know it's gonna happen.
Well, I'm not saying not to take risks, but if you're going to choose to change a belief, but you're not fully trusting in that belief will not support you.
True.
So what's going to happen is you end up dividing yourself. That creates challenges. Of course, you always learn through the challenges, but it's like me, right? I believe that I have a body that it's smart enough to heal itself. But my consciousness, my physical consciousness, has to be in alignment with that belief.
And you age very well. Sandra's actually 195.
I know, right? Look at this. Not enough wrinkles. So something is working. But yeah. So.
And all the esthetician work and certifications. No, but I feel like we should wrap under 25 minutes. I was aiming for 20. Yeah. But you were hitting on something. See? And I love that.
I love it.
The producer. The producer. I'm not watching a 50-minute video.
I love this. Well, but I am just really honored and happy that you allow me to do this with you. I've been wanting to do this for a long time.
First of many.
That's right. And
or maybe not.
I just want to make a point that you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. It's the starting part that but yeah. You want to see something cool?